So we will start seated so we can kind of get tuned in. We're going to be doing a little bit of a moon-centered flow today so that you know what's ahead of you. Yesterday, last night actually, was a new moon. So today is the first day of the new moon. So we'll kind of be adding a little lunar, softer, intuitive energy. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to be somewhat challenged in your practice. But as always, just do what feels best for you. And we'll make sure that by the end of our practice, we're really bringing in lots of lunar energy. So for now, let's find our straight spine, relax the shoulders, close the eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Just kind of take a moment to feel into your body, be really aware of how every part of you feels. We want to make sure that we can maintain our inner focus throughout our practice today. And then let's go ahead and deepen the breath, slow it down a little bit. Ujjayi breathing would be fantastic if you can do that. And then let's just check in with thoughts, emotions, energy, sense of connection. Bring your palms together in front of your heart and just pause to set your own personal intention for your practice today. When you're clear on your intention, take a deeper breath in. Exhale through your mouth. We're going to begin with cat-cow stretches. So just kind of limbering up the spine a little bit. Come onto your hands and knees. As you're inhaling, your back will arch. As you're exhaling, your back will round. And you get to just kind of do the range of movement that feels good for you. And then if you want to add in a little bit of lateral movement, not a bad idea. We'll be keeping the spine nice and long today, but we want it to be supple, mobile. And then on your next exhale, let's go ahead and take a child's pose. And you can do either an extended child's pose with your arms out in front of you or traditional child's pose with your hands down by your feet, palms up. Go ahead and scoot forward into a nice spine lengthening sphinx. And you know your glutes should be really relaxed so that you can pull a little bit of extra length into your low back. And then downward facing dog. Just feel free to pedal your feet a little bit. And then we'll take a couple more breaths, just finding stillness. Slowly walk your feet forward. Keep your knees bent. Relax your neck and just hang in your ragdoll. On your next inhale, reach the arms all the way up and over our head. And as you exhale, bring your palms together in front of your heart. And let's just take a moment and get really rooted and connected to the earth in Tadasana here, mountain pose. So we are, as I mentioned before starting class, we are going to be doing half moon more than once. And it's nice to know when you're doing balance poses, even if you've got a couple of points to balance on, it's nice to know that you can actually tune into energy beyond the body to help you balance. This may seem odd to you, but I want you to imagine right now as you're standing in mountain pose that the earth is really holding your legs in place, giving you stability from the ground up. And I want you to imagine that a couple of feet above you in the air, there's a line of energy that's holding you up. So when we get to our balance poses, maybe anchor yourself above and below your body energetically. And if that sounds really weird to you, okay, just roll with it. Here we go. Inhale, reach the arms up, stretch. And then as you exhale, fold forward, standing forward bend. Inhale, reach and lengthen and pull the chest forward, and then exhale and fold all the way back down. We're gonna step back with our right foot. So a lot of stuff. We're gonna start with the left foot today. So right now we've got a left foot forward lunge, and I'll be having you do a lot of things on the left side first, just to mix it up a little bit. The left side of your body is considered the feminine, more lunar and intuitive side of your body. So that's why we're doing left side first. Go ahead and drop your right knee down. Bring the arms up and overhead. Tuck your tailbone under, let the hips move forward. Just finding some stretch on the front of your right thigh, right hip. And I want you to just bring the right hand to the outside of your left knee and just reach your left arm behind you. Let that right hip sink a little farther forward, just a slightly deeper stretch. Bring your left hand to the left thigh, raise your right arm up, and maybe even reach it back or to the left a little bit, intensifying the stretch on the right side of your body. And then we're gonna bring the right hand down and the left hand outside the left foot. Fully extend your left leg if you can. Let's stretch out the hamstring. Once your left leg is straight, flex your ankle and toes. And then from here, we're just gonna take the left knee back to meet the right knee. Wag the tail. All right, from here, those of you that like vinyasas, you are welcome to take them. Just be really mindful of moving slowly and being breath-centered since it's a lunar practice. The rest of you, if you don't want to do the full-on vinyasas, good choice, at least for today. Let's go ahead and take our child's pose. And then we'll scoot into either Sphinx or low cobra. You can choose what's best for you. And then we'll move into our second downward facing dog. On this one, make sure your palms are flattened out and that your tailbone is lengthening up and back so that the whole spine elongates. And then we'll take a big step forward with the right foot. Just holding our lunge for a couple of breaths here. Drop the left knee down, raise the arms up and overhead, tilt the pelvis back, Let your hips move forward until you feel this on the front of your left hip, left thigh. We're going to bring the left hand to the right thigh and just rotate and take right arm behind us, looking over the right shoulder, letting that left hip move a little farther forward. Then I want you to bring your right hand onto your right thigh. Take your left arm up. And then either leaning back a little bit or a little to the right, or maybe a combination of both. You just intensify your stretch a little. Bring your left hand down to the mat, let the right hand come outside that right foot, and then we just extend the right leg. Flex the ankle, flex the toes, pull the chest forward. Just feel into your right hamstring. And then bend your right knee, step forward to a standing forward bend. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. As you inhale, lift the chest up, reach it forward to lengthen the spine. Exhale all the way back down. We're going to step back with our left foot this time, so we have a right foot forward lunge. Then I want you to go ahead and drop your left knee down. Take your right hand to the ceiling. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right knee. Gently press the leg open. And I want you to let your right knee come back up. We'll see if you can transition easily or not here. Just do your best. I'm going to bring my right hand down inside my right foot. What I want you to do is just move your right foot off the mat, straight out to the side with your right leg straight and your right foot flat. Come up if you can. Right hand on right thigh, left arm up and over. We're stretching out the left side of the body, coming into locked gate here. And then we're going to transition this into a modified preparatory half moon. So here's where we're going next. Left hand is going to come back down to the mat where it was. Kick your left foot out a little bit. Take your right leg parallel to the floor, right hand to the ceiling. You should be aligned with your mat again. And just notice how both sides of the spine feel long. Bring your right hand and your right knee down. Take a child's pose. That's code word for you guys doing vinyasas from here on out. From child's pose, we'll go ahead and scoot into either Sphinx or Cobra. And then downward facing dog. Go ahead and step forward with your left foot. We're going to drop the right knee down. Take the left hand up towards the ceiling. Bring the left hand to the inside of the left knee. Gently press that left leg open, rolling onto the outside edge of that left foot a little bit. Let your left knee come up. Left hand is going to go down inside the left foot. This, I think, is the easiest way to transition, but you can do it any way you need to. Left leg is just going to go out to the left, with the leg straight and the foot flat, and we're coming up, taking left hand to left thigh, right arm reaching up and over for Padidhasana, locked gate pose, stretching out the right side. And then from this, we're transitioning into that modified half moon. So here's how that happens. Just a reminder, right hand comes down, right foot kicks out a little bit, left leg goes parallel to the ground while the left arm reaches for the ceiling. So you're realigned with the length of your mat. Bring your left hand and left knee back down. Give yourself a little tail wag. Downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to your standing forward bend. Inhale, arms are reaching up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. So I'd like you to turn sideways and start with just a moderately wide stance, medium wide, in other words. You still want your heels a little wider than your shoulders, but you can let your toes rotate out. We're going to use this position for our first goddess squat. So just a reminder, as we bend our knees, we want to try and stay vertical and kind of sit back in the hips, keeping the knees aligned so that they are moving in the same direction as the toes. So let's just kind of start with that. Kind of poke your bum back, begin to sit down, keep your chest vertical, press the knees out. Go ahead and bring your arms into what the modern yogis call cactus pose. So you're squeezing your shoulder blades together, opening the heart. This will help you stay vertical. Take one more breath. Straighten your legs, relax your arms. Take the feet a little wider and get your toes pointing directly forward. We're going to hinge forward at the hips. You can either just grab your elbows or bring your hands to the ground and let the top of the head just start moving towards the floor. It doesn't matter if it gets there. We're trying to find inner thigh sensation. I'm trying to get you to stretch out and open up your inner thighs. Go ahead and come on up from that. You can either walk your hands up your thighs or just come up with a nice flat back. And then from here, we're going to go into a warrior two. Remember, we're doing a lot of stuff on the left side first. So I want you to open your left foot out so it's parallel to the long sides of your mat. Right foot rotates in. Arms are out to the side. Left knee bends, warrior two. Right hand on your right thigh, reverse your warrior, opening up left side of the rib cage. I want you to come all the way back up, straighten your left leg, kick the hips to the right, lengthen the rib cage out to the left, and find a triangle pose on your left side. So knowing that we're going to be working with half moon, what I would love for you to do is try and keep your left leg straight and your spine equally long on both sides. These will serve you well in just a moment. Take one more breath here. And then we'll just come back up. Rotate your left foot in. Right foot out. Bend your right knee. Warrior two. Left hand to your left thigh, right arm up and over to reverse your warrior. Come all the way back up into your warrior two. Straighten your right leg. Let the hips kick to the left a little bit. Lengthen your rib cage and find triangle pose on the right side. Same thing applies. We're doing this in preparation for half moon. Come all the way back up. You can just kind of toe heel your feet together. And then we're gonna go ahead and just kind of work for a moment with half moon, and then we'll put it into a flow. So you're gonna get to do half moon more than once today. Hopefully you find that exciting and exhilarating and all of that good stuff. If you use a block, you'll hold it in your left hand. If you need to use a table or a stool, it'll be where your left hand can hit it, but you should be torso distance from it with your left foot. So we're gonna do this on our left foot first. If your left foot is perfectly parallel to the long sides of the mat, whether you're using a table or a block or the floor, your alignment is ever so slightly off, meaning you don't have your left hand directly in front of the left foot, it's ever so slightly outside of it. Your left thumb, or the inside edge of your block, will align with the little toe of the left foot, and you'll be torso distance from it. Ideally, you're standing legged straight, just do the best you can. We're gonna extend the right leg behind us, parallel to the floor, right hand to the ceiling. Only if you're feeling stable will you shift your gaze. Just a reminder, anchor yourself above and below. Let the energy above you hold you up as though someone's holding your right hand, and let the earth hold your left foot. So here we go. Your block, your hand, whatever torso distance in front of the left foot with the thumb aligning with the left little toe. The right leg is parallel to the ground. The right hand reaches for the ceiling. Maybe you shift your gaze upward, maybe not, that's okay. Come all the way back up. Now let's do it on the right side. All of those same things apply. So now that you know your alignment cues, you can just do it. Right foot parallel to the ground. Right hand is torso distance in front of your right foot. Thumb or block aligns with the little toe. Left leg extends parallel to the floor. Right arm reaches towards the ceiling. And perhaps you shift your gaze. And we come back up. All right, let's kind of put some of these elements together. This will be our lunar flow. Feet together, palms together. Big inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, fold forward, standing forward bend. Inhale and look up halfway, reach the chest forward to lengthen the spine, exhale all the way back down. Step back with your right foot, spin it flat, and come up into warrior two on your left side. So you've got a left foot forward, warrior two. We'll go slow with all of this. Right hand on your right thigh. Reverse your warrior. Come back up. We're going to move into half moon. So left hand or block, torso distance in front of the left foot. Right arm reaches for the ceiling. Right leg parallel to the floor. Now listen, as you put your right foot down, we're going to put it almost where we got it, but not quite. We're going to transition this into a goddess pose. So you're going to put your right foot back down, toes rotate out, goddess. As you bend your knees, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Come back up and transition back into half moon, left hand to the ground. Right leg parallel to the floor, right hand reaching for the ceiling. This time we're going to put the right foot back down for warrior two. And then straighten your left leg, lengthen the rib cage, and come into your triangle pose. Bring your right hand down. Step your right foot forward to a standing forward bend. Stay here for another breath or two. Inhale, come up. Exhale, palms together in front of your heart. So that was a pretty challenging sequence. That's as bad as it's going to get today, I promise. And maybe it wasn't bad at all. Maybe it really felt good to you, and that's my wish. So we're going to do all that on the other side. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway, pull the chest forward. Exhale, back down. Step back with your left foot and come up into warrior two. So it's your right side, warrior two. Left hand on your left thigh, right arm up and over. We're gonna come back into our warrior two. Transition into half moon, right hand or block. Torso distance from the right foot. Left leg extends into the air. Left hand reaches for the ceiling. This first time that we put the left foot down, it's into position for goddess pose. So the toes rotate out, we drop the buns, press the knees out, squeeze our shoulder blades together. From here, we transition right back into half moon. Right hand down, left leg extends. This time as we put the left foot down, it's for warrior two. And then we straighten the right leg, kick the hips to the left, lengthen out for our triangle pose. Bring the left hand down. Take your right knee back to meet your left knee. Give yourself a tail wag and a very well-deserved child's pose. Take a few breaths, breathing into your low back. From here, scoot forward into either Sphinx or Cobra. And then downward facing dog. From your down dog, slowly walk your feet forward. Big inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, bring your palms together in front of your heart. So you've already done goddess pose 3 times, basically. We're just gonna do kind of like a baby goddess and then find our way to the floor. So think of it as a yogic squat, except today I'm gonna let you rotate the toes out. So external rotation, if that feels good to you. You should be pretty happy since I usually make you point your toes forward. So feet are maybe the width of the mat, maybe a little wider, maybe a little closer, it's up to you. Toes rotate out, knees follow toes, and you start to drop your buns, except this time you go ahead and go all the way down if you can. And if you cannot, then please support your weight on your thighs. Couple more breaths. Now, if you do have your buns pretty close to the floor, I'd like you to just sit them down and extend your legs. And if you're nowhere near the floor, then please just come to a seated position as gently as you can. Find your sit bones and pause for a moment in Dandasana. So in staff pose, we really just want a very straight spine, active legs. We're just trying to make a nice L shape and kind of give ourselves the opportunity to feel the energy running. So we're anchored to the earth through our tailbone. We're anchored to that other energy center a couple of feet above the head. And then we've also got energy running the length of the legs through the arches of the feet and to the pelvis. So we're just kind of tuning in to everything that we've woken up today and checking in to make sure everything feels all right. Inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, just lengthen out over both legs. And then if it feels good to you, you're welcome to curl forward. If you prefer to pull the chest forward and lengthen with a neutral spine, do that. And then we'll just come on up from that. Take the legs into a wide V. And then make sure that you're on your sit bones. If you need to, hands can be behind you to keep you up on the sit bones. And if that's the case, if you need to use your hands, then once you do that, you're probably already feeling the inner thigh stretch. If you don't need to use your hands to stay upright, bring them in front of you so that you can lengthen forward a little bit. Or if you're feeling like you'd like to be a little more traditional, you can use the first two fingers and thumb of each hand to grab your big toes. You're also welcome to put your hands on your shins. Just be mindful that your spine is as lengthened as possible, that the heart is pulling forward, that you're not rounding your back. You don't want to look like a turtle here. Take a couple more breaths. And then come on up from that. Put your hands right behind you to lengthen your spine without using your hands. Bring the soles of the feet together. Wherever they land is perfect. The knees are going to press out to the side and down towards the floor. Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. And then let's go ahead and slide the feet forward. You want to keep the soles of the feet still touching, but you want them far away from you. Clasp the ankles and then just kind of nestle your rib cage down between your thighs. So just like our straight-legged forward bend, you may either do this with a lengthened, extended spine, or you're welcome to round and curl forward. Whichever one feels better to you today. And then just coming up from that, we're going to extend the left leg out and bring the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Remember, we're starting a lot of things on the left side today. So just lean out of your left leg, see how that feels. Come on up from that. We're going to bring the right leg across the left one. Right foot flat. Left foot should flex. So you want to make sure that the big toe side of your right foot is pressing down. Lift up through your chest. Very straight spine here. And then when the right hand goes behind you to twist to the right, you can just hug on your right knee. But if you've got the flexibility to bring the left arm outside of that leg, that'll give you a little bit of extra leverage. You're just going to be twisting to the right. slowly rotate back around. Extend your right leg out. We're gonna wiggle both legs. And then bring your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. Lean out over your right leg. And just see how that feels. Coming up from that, we're gonna pick the left leg up and bring it across the right thigh. The left foot is flat, particularly the big toe side of the left foot. Lift up for a very straight spine. Left arm is behind you and you're either hugging your left leg as you twist to the left, or if you're able to, you're gonna bring your right arm outside of that left leg for a little extra leverage. Come all the way back around. Extend your left leg out. Give it a good wiggle. Give both of them a good wiggle. And then we're just gonna gently roll onto our backs, hugging the knees in. Nice little side to side rock. And then I want you to very tightly cross your right thigh over your left thigh. Real tight crossing of the legs, just hug the knees in. And if you're already feeling a right glute stretch and you're happy here, you don't have to do anything else. If you want more, flex the ankles, reach down and grab the ankles or feet and try to open the knee joint up to about 90 degrees and then apply a little bit of pressure to the feet. So it's kind of like you're trying to pull your feet towards your ears, if that makes sense. You don't want a deep bend in the knee. Again, you want them somewhere close to 90 degrees if possible. We're gonna let go of the feet, but keep the knees tightly crossed. If you're able to do a deep twist, your left foot will just come back down onto the mat and you'll drop your knees to the left with your right arm opening to the right. Now, if that's too much force or torque on your low back, then by all means uncross the legs. On your next inhale, you'll bring the knees back up. If they're crossed, keep them crossed. Pick your left foot up off the floor and let's draw 3 big circles in the air with our knees. And we want to go 3 in each direction. When you're done with that, you can hug your knees in, rock side to side. We'll go for the other side. So we're going to tightly cross left thigh over right. Hug the knees in. Maybe that's enough for you. If you'd like more, reach down, grab the feet or ankles, try and open up at the knee joint to about 90 degrees. Then apply a little bit of pressure. Keep your knees crossed, but let go of your feet or ankles. We're gonna put the right foot back down on the mat. Again, if you can twist deeply, just keep the legs crossed, dropping knees to the right, left, or lowering down to the left. If deep twists are not a good idea for you, then uncross your legs, and that should make it a little bit gentler. On your next inhale, bring the legs back up. If they're crossed, keep them crossed. Pick your right foot up off the mat. 3 big circles in each direction with the knees. So what this is doing is kind of ironing out your sacrum, the backside of the pelvis. When you've had 3 circles in each direction, uncross your legs, hug the knees in, side to side rock. Then we're going to keep the left knee hugged into the chest as we extend the right leg out onto the floor. Just keep that left knee hugged in. I want you to go ahead and extend your left leg up as straight as you can. Get it as straight as possible, even if it's kind of pointing towards the foot end of your mat rather than pointing at the ceiling. Try and keep your knee straight and then grab whatever you can reach on your left leg. Maybe it's your thigh, maybe it's your calf, maybe it's your foot. But try and keep your knee really straight. Maybe even flex the foot. Wherever your left hand is, I'd like you to keep it there. Keep your left leg straight. Right hand can come down onto the right hip bone. I like to do that because I like to feel and make sure I'm not rolling. I don't want you to roll your hips to the left at all. I want you to try and keep your left leg straight and just open that left leg out to the left. If you feel yourself starting to roll and plunk over, come back up and kind of reset. Just 2 more breaths here. These body parts that are opening here were already opened in your half moon. Bring your left leg back up. Hug your knee in one more time. And then bring the right knee up to meet the left knee. Extend your left leg all the way out onto the ground. So we're going to do the same thing here. Right leg extends as much as you can up towards the ceiling. But if it's pointing farther down, that's okay. It's more important that it's straight. Then you're going to get whatever you can. The thigh, the calf, the foot. Just grab hold of whatever you can reach and still keep the leg really straight. And then maintaining a very straight leg. Right hand can stay where it's at. Left hand goes to the hip bone just to make sure that you're not rolling. And then go ahead and take your straight right leg out to the right. As soon as you feel your hips start to roll, come back up and reset. Just a couple of breaths here. Bring your right leg back up. Hug your right knee in. Bring your left knee up to meet it and rock side to side. Grab the outside edges of your feet. Do a little happy baby. Just checking in with the hips, the hamstrings, the low back, the glutes, the inner thighs. Just kind of explore a little movements. And then go ahead and bring your feet onto the mat, soles of the feet together. So this is the more ancient, original variation of a goddess pose. Soles of the feet are together. We're gonna reach our arms up and over our heads. So basically your thumbs are touching the floor if your fingers are interlaced. And then you're extending your index fingers. On your next inhale, press the knees down towards the mat as you reach through your fingertips. So what you're feeling is your glutes are contracting, the back muscles are contracting a little bit, which means the entire front side of your torso is open. Take one more breath here. And then I want you to just relax any tension in the body. Unlace your fingers, bring your hands down below the shoulders, palms facing up. And now we're just gonna lengthen the low back. So on your next inhale, flatten your back, press the low back into the mat. Keep breathing, by the way. And then on your next natural exhale, just release, let the curve come back into the spine. One more time, inhale, flatten the back, press your low back into the floor. And release, and begin to extend your legs. Separate your feet, maybe play with the distance that the feet are apart. Get just the perfect place for today. And then lengthen your spine, which includes your neck. Let your hands be palms up below your heart. Let your jaw go slack, so there's a little space between the teeth. Your eyelids gently close, your forehead smooths out, everything softens, and you take a deep breath in. And exhale through the mouth, relaxing and softening down. So just feeling your body release. So you did at least 3 half moon poses on each side. The great thing about half moon is that it is both a balance and an inversion. So you kind of got a lot all in that one pose. It's a pretty challenging pose, but it has a lot of value. And it keeps us sort of tuned into lunar energy. And so remaining with that theme, now that your body is completely relaxed and your breath has gone soft, I'd like you to first imagine that you are bathed in a silvery white moonlight. Just imagine that your body is being completely bathed in moonlight. And then right between your eyebrows at Ajna Chakra, your third eye point, I'd like you to imagine a tiny little pinpoint of violet light. So your whole body is being bathed in moonlight, beautiful silvery white moonlight. But there's a pinpoint of violet light right between the eyebrows. Then while maintaining that awareness, in whatever way that works for you, I'd like you to coordinate the following affirmation with your breath. I'd like you to say to yourself, I trust my intuition. So as you lie in Shavasana, bathed in moonlight, focusing on this violet point of light between the eyebrows, every time you breathe, you're saying to yourself, I trust my intuition. And so let go now of the affirmation. And you can begin to just let your awareness move throughout your body now, feeling your muscles, feeling your skeletal system, feeling your organs. And if you can't feel them, sense them. Just see if you can put yourself in touch with your entire body, not just the outer part of it, but the inner part as well. And then just kind of notice how soft and sweet your breath is. Notice any thoughts, any emotions. Notice your energy. Notice if you feel perhaps a little more connected. Start to move your fingers and toes. Start deepening your breath. And today, as you're ready, when you breathe in, just stretch, 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 stretch in a really delicious type of way. Everything that feels good. And then exhale with a soft sigh as you relax. Bending the knees, either hugging them in or just letting the feet be on the mat. Go ahead and roll to your right side, and if you can, stay on your right side for 3 breaths. Just curled up into a nice little ball on your right side. And then as you finish out those 3 breaths, left hand in front of the chest, press yourself up to sitting. So just take a moment as you come to your seated position and roll your shoulders back a few times. And then just let them relax. I want you to turn your head as far to the right as you can, looking over your right shoulder with the eyes. And then bring the head all the way back around. Turn your head as far to the left as you can, looking over the left shoulder with your eyes. Returning to center, tilting the chin up towards the ceiling, stretching the front of the throat, and then also gazing upward. So it's almost as though you're trying to look at your third eye point. Slowly bringing the chin down and continuing to let it go all the way down so your chin is resting on your chest, and let your gaze be down like you're trying to see your collarbone. Bring the head back to the center, close the eyes. 3 circles of the eyes to the left. You're just circling them, circling them, circling them. And then 3 to the right. And you can keep your eyes closed and just let the eyes relax and draw tiny circles in the air with your nose. So your head is making little circles now, and then go the opposite direction. And then just let your head balance on top of your spine. So for our pranayama today, we're going to do a variation on Chandra Bharana. It's a lunar breath, of course. If it feels okay to you, this is just a suggestion, you don't have to take it. You could touch the tip of the ring finger on both hands to the tip of the thumb and let those hands rest palm up on the knees or thighs. This is just a receptive gesture saying that you are open to listening to your intuition. And then what we're going to do is breathe in through the left nostril and breathe out through the right nostril, but you may not use your hands because they're busy down here in Shuni Mudra. So maybe your brain just went, I don't know how to do that. Don't worry about it. All I want you to do is keep your hands on your knees or thighs, close your eyes, and just imagine that you're breathing deep, slow breaths in just through the left nostril. And that you're breathing out even slower just through the right nostril. Simply do that every breath. Inhaling through the left side, exhaling through the right side. And just let your breathing come back to normal. You might have noticed that it got a little bit easier to inhale through the left and exhale through the right the more you concentrated on it. Hopefully that was your experience. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Take a moment in gratitude, obviously gratitude for this practice, for this discipline of yoga. Gratitude for our intuition. We all have intuition. We just don't always pay heed as we should, pay attention to it, listen to it, trust it. So hopefully you'll be more trusting of your own intuition, those little gut feelings that we get. And also just take a moment in gratitude for this moment, this day, this breath on this planet, right here, right now. Take one more huge inhale. Big sigh. Palms to the forehead, reminding us to be present. Palms to the lips, reminding us to speak our truth. Palms to the heart, reminding us to keep our hearts open, to always practice kindness and compassion and love. Thank you so much for being with me today. Namaste.